New year, new vibe. I would first like to know what's your vibe for 2026?
Very positive.
Generally, people think of vision board in the very first month of a new year. We are here to decode vision board today with you.
Wow. It's my favorite topic. When I was a child, about 7, 8 years old, the $1 billion dream, our mind has a photographic memory. It's like chaos.
Oh my god.
Humans, as souls, we all come for a purpose.
It is like messaging the universe that this is what I would like to manifest.
The universal mind works on very specific goals. We have written it, the vision board is ready, I put it on the wall, and my job is done. No.
Is vision board really magical?
I mean, life is precious. Let's not waste time in being lost. The universe is there to give it to you. If you are not open to receive it, it's not going to happen.
Hi Neha.
Hi, Sheetal.
Welcome for our first podcast. And new year, new vibe. I would first like to know what's your vibe for 2026?
Oh, wow. Very positive. I think I feel so charged up for this year, especially because it's a year of manifestation. And I think we all can feel that energy that we are supercharged
Yes.
to create our own life.
Yeah, and when it comes to New Year, generally people think of vision board in the very first month of a new year. So, we are here to decode vision board today with you and would like to know what is your idea of a vision board in a layman's language. What exactly is a vision board?
Wow. It's my favorite topic
Yes.
to talk about. The reason being I have used it big time in my life and I can see, it manifesting. So it comes from my own personal experience. So I'll give you an anecdote. Um, when I was a child, about 7, 8 years old, in the house we had a study room. Um, where my dad used to sit and read books and stuff. And that was my favorite place to be. So whenever he was not around, I was the one sitting there and doing my stuff. So I remember that, I used to actually create like an entire office environment, assuming that this is my huge office floor. And I used to actually send letters to myself
Okay.
assuming that this is coming from a particular institute and literally create that vibe that it's a live office. So I think I always had this vision of having like a huge business empire, and it was inherent in me that I was born for it. Of course, that time I wasn't conscious, but now when I look back on the hindsight, I can feel that whatever I did, I used to also write notes that, the $1 billion dream. It was the inception was right from my childhood. So yeah, I mean, first of all, it comes from my own experience. And then, of course, when I scientifically understood the concept and did my own research, even while authoring my books, where we went into the depth of the science of the mind and how that is connected to the brain. So, we all know we have the subconscious mind and the conscious mind. 95% of our functioning of our life is governed by the subconscious mind. I think it's well known now.
Yes.
What we need to understand is that our mind has a photographic memory,
Right.
right? Naturally, we are designed that way as humans. And as they say, a picture is more worth 1,000 words, right? Now, let's try to understand the science of how the brain works. So, subconscious mind is the portal where you capture all the images. The brain is the organ where everything is processed. It's our processing unit, right? So, there's something called the occipital zone at the rear side of the brain. That's where all the data is captured. Okay, right? And there is something called the RAS, the reticular
Activating system.
yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Which basically filters everything we are perceiving through our senses. Now, there is something called the value tagging system in our brain. So, we literally absorb 11 million stimuli per second into our brain.
Oh my God.
But because of this filtering system, because it's impossible to process so many, stimuli at once, 50 of that, of 11 million, is what actually gets processed. Right? So you imagine the number,
Yeah.
right? That's how meticulously our brain is designed.
Yeah.
So whatever, we set our goals to, the brain filters everything we are seeing around through this value tagging system,
Okay.
right? So we need to be very conscious about what we want to filter in our life. So I'll give you an example. Let's say a woman is pregnant, okay, and she's going around. She inherently has this desire to have a healthy child, to have, the best experience and have a very smooth pregnancy duration. If you ask, somebody who's carrying a baby, they will naturally have a tendency to look at healthy babies around, things that relate to that particular duration or experience. Now, that is something that comes to us naturally because she's going through that experience.
Yeah.
The same thing we can do in a very conscious way. So, this is the core of vision boarding, right? So, this is the concept on which it works. Now, coming to vision boarding, I think the basics we all know, right? It involves, of course, setting your goals, putting out all the desires you have for your entire life, and actually making a collage of all those desires to be manifested,
Right.
right?
Right.
I think, yeah, there's so much more to that, but let's talk about the basics. I think the first thing that a vision board does to you is gives you 100% clarity, right? So the first step is writing. Writing something which is within you gives you the first step of clarity. Because, there's so many thoughts going on in our mind, but we again cannot filter them and we cannot really make sense of it because it's like chaos.
Yes.
So, how do you funnel it down? How do you filter, refine that, and actually come to a conclusion of what you're looking for, what you're seeking for? Because, see, as humans, as souls, we all come for a purpose. And writing things down, your inner voice, listening to your inner voice, and actually putting it down
Yeah.
also enables you to identify that purpose.
So self awareness.
Yeah, absolutely. So it can be multi purpose, right? I mean, purpose is again not a very umbrella term. There could be a personal purpose you have that is restricted to yourself. Then you have a social purpose, which probably extends to your family. And then there's a third layer where it's the higher purpose, where you are born as human to fulfill and serve and give back to the society. Right? So, coming back to vision boarding, I think the first step is writing it down, gives you clarity.
Yes,
The second step, once you know that, okay, these are the things
Yes.
that I want to manifest in my life and experience it, then comes the graphical representation.
Right.
So, everything that you write, you convert into graphics because, again, like we spoke, the brain can process graphics in a much more efficient and impactful way.
Okay.
So yeah, but I mean, there is so much more to vision boarding. If we can elaborate on that. Do
Do
you
you
want
want
to
to go
go
through
through
the
the
process?
process or?
Yes, but before we jump further, why do you think, or can you cite an example that how does images, create much more impact than words? As you said, our brain does filters, but what is this technique? Or if I have, say, 10, 15 images in my mind about me, now how does my brain processes this information, and then it comes to manifestation? So maybe we can say that, as they say, what you seek seeks you.
Is seeking you.
Yeah, is seeking you. So when we talk about images, how does our subconscious mind is processing those images more impactfully as compared to words, and that leads to manifestation?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, the subconscious mind is the most powerful tool we have,
Yes.
and it inherently has a photographic memory. Brain is an engine to process that. So your subconscious mind is very much linked to the universal mind, right? So as we all know, thought creates everything, right? The moment you put an intention out in the universe,
Right.
your subconscious mind plugs into the universal mind, the cosmic mind. And then that information is relayed onto this huge, gigantic cosmic mind, which it's like delegating.
Right.
It's literally, the universe is there for you always. It's just that we don't realize that it's there to serve you.
Okay.
So the moment you program your subconscious mind with these goals and desires, it is then relayed onto the cosmic mind. And you can imagine, with the power of the cosmos, the manifestation is so much more faster and effective.
Right.
So I think, yeah, the brain basically is a support tool, but the magic is done by our subconscious mind. It's the most powerful tool we have, and we should use it to the best and optimize it.
Yo. So, as I understand, your subconscious mind sends signal to the universe. Yeah. And that is how it is like messaging the universe that this is what I would like to manifest. Yeah. In the most simplest of terms.
I think, the most important element to program your subconscious mind to manifest anything is clarity. And most of us are missing on it. We wake up in the morning, we feel lost. Today we want something, tomorrow we want something else. The universal mind works on very specific goals. It understands the language, which is very, very specific.
Yeah.
It cannot function in confusion. That's the
Yeah.
way it is, right? It's the law of the universe. So I think the first step is to get that clarity, like we spoke, writing and then converting into graphics. Once you have clarity, you put out the intention and let the universe do its magic. And what I have experienced is then the intention processes, and you just have to go with the flow and surrender yourself to that process. So the moment you put it out, your job then is to just follow
Hmm.
what the universe is sending me.
Yes.
And you keep attracting the right things
Hmm.
and keep the faith, keep the surrender. And of course, most importantly, action. We
Hmm.
all live in this delusion that, okay, we have written it, the vision board is ready, I put it on the wall, and my job is done. No, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, most important thing once you put out the intention is whatever you are guided through by the universe, you have to act.
Right.
Performing on that guidance and providence is the most important thing. And I think we tend to miss out on that. And then we sit and cry that nothing is happening. I've done everything. And it's
Yes,
so,
yes.
yeah, we can't forget this part. So I would say intention, clarity, action, and then the results
By surrendering.
and the faith.
And the faith, yeah. Which brings me to the next question, Neha. So, is vision board really magical? Some magic is happening over there, or is it real? Can you cite some real examples of people, putting it out on the vision board and then manifesting it in the real world? Does that happens?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it is magic. It has no logic. So anything that has no logic is magical. And I think, we are all used to analyzing everything with logic, which is our left brain, and we are conditioned to it. But I think once you understand the science, and of course, we have seen so many leaders and visionaries actually making it happen, manifesting it throughout life. Like, just to set out some names, we have, the Shadi.com founder. He talks very explicitly about it, Mr. Anupam Mittal, right? We have so many other leaders. I think, what was the other name?
Nikhil Kamath.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, the Zerodha founder, Mr. Nikhil Kamath, who's, I think, one of the most looked up leaders in the world, also has spoken about it. I mean, he started it from his childhood. He had pictures in his room. Of course, he was not conscious then. But today, he talks about it. So I have all the leaders I've followed, and if you go back to their stories and history, I think consciously or unconsciously, everybody has done it.
Okay.
And I think today, my message to the audience would be fine, whatever you've done in the childhood is fine. But since now we have the tools, we have the knowledge, we have the wisdom, and we understand the science of it, let's use it to the most optimum level. I think that's what I would say the audience, that life is precious. Let's not waste time in being lost. It's a very simple tool. It's a lot of fun. And believe you me, once you get clarity on what you want in life, you actually live like a 2.0 version. You will feel like you have a new life. So, yeah.
Sounds like very empowering.
It
So-
is. It is. Yeah.
So it is established that vision board is real, and it really helps to manifest things. Uh, Taking it further, Neha, I would like to understand that apart from the goals, and the vision that we set out for ourselves, does it also helps us to understand or increase our self awareness, our emotional patterns, and are there any shifts happening over there? Does the vision board help in this case?
Yeah. Amazing question. Because I think emotion
Yes.
is the most important part in this process,
Hmm.
right? So, most definitely, self awareness comes with clarity,
Yes.
right?
Hmm.
So, again, the process of writing, putting it out, already makes you feel like you know yourself much better. And that's the first step to feel empowered, right? Then, coming to the emotional patterns, I think we all have, inherent desires,
Yes.
and every desire is linked to a particular emotion,
Right.
right? So let me take you to the 5 aspects of how I would actually go through the process. There is physical, mental, emotional, financial, and spiritual. These are the 5 main aspects of our life, which basically comprises of every experience. Now, physical fitness
Yeah.
is related to self confidence, self esteem. It makes you feel so much better about yourself.
Yes.
So the moment you put something related to your physical aspect,
Yes.
automatically you will start feeling that emotion,
Hmm.
right? Just imagine that, just writing this line that I want to be physically the best version of myself itself will make you feel like, so positive and optimistic that I'm going to reach there. So the emotion of positivity is already come in you just by writing and visualizing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the most important factor of manifestation is feeling the emotion before it actually happens. So that's a very, beautiful thing you brought up, that feeling the emotion before it happens and not waiting for the physical event to happen
Yes.
is first of all natural. And we also have to, I think, put an extra effort in making sure that you're feeling it in your body, mind, and soul. It has to become a part of your system, because then that positive emotion, the higher frequency vibration, attracts the right things to you. You understand the loop?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you have the clarity, you have your vision, you have the goal set, which gives you those high vibration emotions
Yeah.
like confidence, happiness, high self esteem, you know, clarity about your future,
Yeah.
um, financial empowerment.
You're right.
All these are high vibration frequency emotion. The moment you start feeling it, you're going to attract, the same thing that is vibrating on that level.
Yes.
So it's a very beautiful loop and a system
Yes.
to then manifest.
Yeah, and I've also read somewhere that your subconscious mind doesn't cannot differentiate between what is real and unreal. Yes. So the emotion, the moment we feel the emotion, it helps us to manifest then.
Correct.
Right? Yeah.
Correct.
All
Yeah.
right. Yeah,
Because
beautifully.
it works on imagination.
Yes.
Right. So you can basically, in a way, manipulate your subconscious. But I think a better way to put it is program.
Programming.
It's like a powerful machine given to you.
Yes.
You can program it and actually make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which now makes me go more deeper into it. So if I say, let's say if I have a fitness goal that I want to have a very fit body, so just by putting up that picture would help me manifest it, or would there be anything more to that picture, imagination, visualization that I need to do to make it more real and clear?
Yes, for sure. Just the picture is not enough. Again, that is something we all miss out on. I think picture is the start.
Hmm.
But the second thing you need to do is, what is the action you're going to take? Right?
Yeah.
So you got to put out a schedule for yourself, for example, for that fitness goal.
Right.
So you need to have an action plan on the vision board, that this is what is going to get me there. And one more tool to add, which I think is very, very powerful, is an affirmation which is related to that particular goal. So, for example, you spoke on physical fitness. I think the set of that particular part of vision board should have the picture, the affirmation like, I see myself physically in the best version. This could be an affirmation, and there could be so many more, whatever works for you. And then, like I said, having an action plan.
Yes.
So, or you will be guided towards it
Yes.
on its own. And then I think, yeah,
Yeah.
you exactly know what to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Those kind of resources start appearing to you. Those kind
Yes.
of people, books might come in contact
Yeah.
in front of you.
Totally. I would say you become a magnet, literally, and having a magnetic energy, aura, and I think that kind of system in your body, which works in that magnetic way to attract the right things, is very powerful. And that's what happens with vision boarding.
Yeah. When it comes to, vision boarding or manifesting, I think one, definitely people talk about their physical aspect that they want to achieve. And second, which is my favorite, is like, if you ask me, I would like to manifest multiple, trips. Travel, yes. So, in that sense, what process should I follow? How can you just help me to, write down the process, identify the process, how I can get into the specifics uh, of traveling,
Yeah, I mean, okay, so I think we all want to travel the world. I don't think nobody wants to like miss out on any destination. So I would say make a list of the top destinations that you don't want to miss out on, right? That's what I would do.
Yes.
Um, and then you basically convert that into a graphical image. And I would say, yeah, rest follows. I mean, it's a very simple process.
Yes.
Um, and one important thing I would say is you got to be open to receive.
Yes.
So, one thing also that happens with most of the people is they block their energy.
Mm.
The universe is there to give it to you. But if you are not open to receive it, it's not going to happen. So, just taking that example of the travel, maybe you're missing it out for a long time. And it's very natural for your body to not be open for it because you've conditioned, you're habituated to be stationed at a place. So you have to, consciously put out that intention that, okay, now that I have this desire to travel, let me be open to it. Let me not be rigid and resistant to an opportunity that walks into my life. So you got to be watchful about it and be conscious. Yeah.
Consciously open.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, that's a great tip. I never thought about it. Yeah. So we can ourselves block our energies.
Yeah.
Oh.
We do that all the time.
Right. Okay. In this point, I also want you to talk about bring up specificity, like which month, if it is about travel, by this month, two, three, these destinations, or if we are talking about physical aspect. So, what kind of is it? Toning the body? Is it losing the weight? So, getting into specific also in the vision board. So, they need to mention somewhere.
Hmm.
So,
Okay.
this aspect
Sure.
also.
So, yeah, I think being very specific about whatever goal you want to put out on the vision board is extremely important. Let's take an example of financial abundance.
Yes.
So many people, put out pictures of dollars and money and all of that, but they don't realize that it's a very subjective element.
Yes.
The universe doesn't know what number you're looking at. So this is something, I tell a lot of my friends and colleagues who talk to me about it, that first you need to have a specific number, what you want to manifest. What is enough for you? Or where is your vision on that? Because the universe works on numbers, right? Numbers is a very, very important factor in the law of the universe. So everything. So now let's take physical fitness. Just being fit is again subjective to it's each to its own, right?
Yes.
We
Yes.
cannot define, it cannot be a universal term.
Yes.
So you got to be specific on the areas that you feel you need fitness. It could be toning of muscles, it could be a particular weight depending on your height and gender, for example. So go as much detail as possible. Like they say, God is in details.
Yes.
I think it applies to this.
Okay.
I would say you got to keep revisiting your vision board. There could be multiple rounds. I think everybody should dedicate at least some time in a week to revisit, upgrade, update your vision board because it keeps evolving. The
Okay.
core remains the same, but as you're guided, you will, get a lot many answers as to what more can I specify. So yeah, it's very important to do that. So I would say take your time, start with the steps. First step, like I said, is writing, then coming to the graphics. Then the third step could be going into details, being more specific into every aspect. Then comes the action plan. And then you keep going deeper into it.
Yes.
Every time you sit on it,
Hmm.
it's not a one time process, is what I'm trying to say.
Wow, that's another myth that you just busted, that it's not a one time activity, it keeps evolving. So now, I would also like to understand in a vision board, how many pictures or how many goals can you put out? Is it like full of, a bundle of goals, or is it needs to be, uh, quantity over quality? Is that the motto?
um okay, so the way I would do it is, I think, don't limit yourself at all.
Mm.
There is no restriction on the number of goals and desires one can have. So go all out is what I would say to start with. I think the first thing to do is to put out your life goals. In the sense, whatever comes to your mind, it, any desire, you put it out first. And let it be like a blank canvas where you're painting your future, you know.
Wow.
Then you can get into structuring it. So it's like, you think of yourself as a kid
Yes.
and you've been given this beautiful life and opportunity. What would you do?
A magic wand.
Yeah. And then just put it out. Don't keep limitations. There is no restriction on quantity. It might look messy to you in the first time, but there's a way you can structure it, but it's a process. So
Right.
I would say, yeah, there are no
Yeah.
limits. We are limitless.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. So, would you also like to elaborate on any more aspects, generally the mistakes that people do when it comes to vision board? As you just told us that we can go as much as specific and as much limitless as possible. Are there any further limitations that one operates from while coming to vision board? There are any common mistakes that you would like to tell our viewers, which we should be wary about while creating the vision board?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. So just to list it down, I think first thing is action, what I spoke about. We cannot assume that just putting an intent is enough. So be ready for action, is what I would say. The first thing.
Yes.
Second, like I said, be specific about everything you're putting out. Third is being open. So rigidity is something that comes into our system very naturally because we are not used to it. We've been conditioned again to not believe.
Yes.
Belief is so important. So I think you have to consciously have that firm belief that this works, this is magical, the universe is there for me, and then, you know, rest will follow. So I think these are the common, I wouldn't say mistakes, but limitations that we set out for ourselves. And I think we need to be conscious about it. And again, tell yourself the self talk, is very important. Um, your self talk has to drive you towards removing these resistances and belief systems and just go with that firm
Firm.
faith. Yeah.
Which brings me again to this aspect wherein I might have put it out on my vision board and I might have listed down, what are my desires. However, yeah, there are many limiting beliefs that may occur that, oh, this is not possible. Yeah. And how can I, think about this? Yeah. I've never achieved this much. So, if these kind of beliefs are hounding you, how one can keep oneself, inspired and motivated and do away with the limiting beliefs and go ahead with as you said, all out. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very valid, I think, and a common challenge. I would say referring to live examples, like we have seen, people going from rags to riches. So consciously look for people who have actually done it. Like we have so many examples. Like let's talk about our Prime Minister, Mr. Modi. He was selling tea. And imagine if he would have that limitation that I can never be a prime minister of a country. Would that be possible? I think it's one of the most profound examples we have in front of us that there is absolutely no limits. And you got to, I think one way to do it is, yeah, refer to these examples. Um, it's already happened, so it will naturally make you believe in it. And again, I would say meditating, for 10 minutes before you start putting it out, and then telling yourself that it's possible. Again, the self talk. Yeah. So affirmations is there, which is a design curated thing. But I would again, emphasize on your self talk. You got to sit with yourself and guide yourself that, yes, I believe in it. That's where it starts. Because if you don't believe in it, no matter what you do in this world, no matter how many people come to you to help, it's not going to happen. So the first person you need to convince and make believe that this is real is yourself. So I would say, yeah.
Do you also think, Neha, that is it possible that your vision board overwhelms you rather than motivates you?
Oh, it shouldn't. um, I think probably if you put some very strict timelines to your vision board, it might get overwhelming. So don't do that. I would say, we are living on this physical universe, the physical planet. It's time is slow here, and everything takes its own time to manifest. So let's first make peace with it. It cannot, be unreal. So I would say, yeah, it's good to have some timeline targets, but don't beat yourself up into, that I want to do it in a month, whereas it actually takes a year.
Oh.
So we got to be very cognizant about how manifestation happens in terms of time on earth and give very reasonable timelines and don't be rigid about it. I think you can have flexibility there. I would say one of the best ways to do it is have 5-year timelines. So, first thing is you put out everything you want in life, you want to experience. Then you divide your life into 5 years slots and have those, sort of minor goals.
Right.
That every 5 years, this is what I want to do. So, you have room to expand.
Yes.
There is no pressure
Okay.
because pressure kills performance. So you got to be at your best, flow with it, be in the flow state. Very, very important. Oh my God. Being in the flow state is something you got to be doing if you really want to experience and manifest it.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. So I think this is the way we can actually avoid the pressure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's absolutely very, very, profound. Coming to corporates, Neha,
Yeah.
can in the corporate world, do you believe that teams can sit together and envision common goals and objectives for the year?
Oh, absolutely. For sure. And I think this is something not done yet. And I think I would like to urge everybody because it works for an individual, it equally works for a group. In fact, I would say a collective manifestation is so much more powerful. So, for a corporate, I would say um, team bonding or stuff like, of course, revenue targets. It could be numbers, it could be the soft skills, it could be a culture that you want to build. You know, unconsciously, like you go to an office space wherein they are very serious about their culture, you will see relevant quotes and pictures on the walls, right? Which is constantly programming your subconscious. And it does have an effect. We have, I was watching Warren Buffett's documentary recently, and one of the things he's done is in his office from day one, he's actually posted the New York Times newspaper from 1920s, which talks about the market crash, just to remind himself that market is volatile and there is no certainty to it, so that he's alert of what he's doing. Just an example. So, likewise, there could be team pictures, motivating quotes, so many other things, which we do. But I think consciously having an activity in a team where everybody is sitting together, first of all, they are setting out their individual goals, and then having a collective goal as a team, that what is the vibe we want to create, what is the culture we want to create, what are the emotions that we want to feel. Because like we know, we spend maximum of our time in offices and we don't want it to be a place where we're not excited to go. So I think creating the right vibe in office, the right feeling the right emotions, making it a safe place to be, um, feeling connected. Lot of these, they could be common goals and then there could be specific goals. But I feel it's a very, very effective tool and method for a corporate to have. I think every new year they should all be doing this exercise. Like we have done it in our office and we have seen an amazing impact.
Wow. Now that you're saying, I'm able to recollect. I had visited this one particular hospital, and these days each hospital I think has this. They'll create a very positive and happy vibe, so it doesn't overwhelm the people who are coming there, and it doesn't feel like a hospital anymore. Like it's very welcoming and warm. So that's another way, I think,
Yeah,
through pictures and the culture that they are trying
yeah,
to set. Yeah.
exactly. Again, these days you have wellness centers, wellness hospitals, wherein they are trying to make that shift, like you said, from a very cold hospital vibe to a very warm, a very healing vibe. That takes care of half of the therapy. So, yeah, I mean, lot of effective tools that we can use in office spaces and public spaces. Yeah.
Right. So what's if we have to say ki, What's your message to the corporates for vision boarding?
Yes. I think as a founder, um, I have a vision board for the brand and the company and the team and the culture I want to create. I would actually recommend every founder to create their own vision board with respect to the brand they're building, the team. And then the team can align with that vision board. So it has to start from the thought leader, the founder. So my message would be specifically, to people who are building brands, global brands, to do this consciously, dedicate some time to it, and then make sure they sit with the team,
Yes.
take them through this process, guide them through it, and then alignment before
Super.
it happens.
Yay. And Co-Evolve is there
Yes.
on this journey.
Yes. So Co-Evolve as a corporate wellness brand definitely offers vision boarding as one of the most important effective modalities. And every corporate founder who's looking to do this exercise workshop in their organization or workspace, we are here to serve you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Neha.
Thank you. I
Thank-
hope I have clarified.
Yes, yes, you did.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
With the scientific language as well. My God. Such details.
Yes.
Yeah.